Welcome to spooky season TBR, okay? We are in autumn. I don't care if it's still like 99 degrees outside. We are celebrating autumn, okay? It is time for autumn. It is time for apples and pumpkin spice and everything spooky and pumpkins and witches and ghosts and vampires, werewolves and phantoms. Anyways, it's time for all that. The room smells like apple crisps right now. I have an apple candle burning and it's perfect. I just reorganized my bookshelf. It is now spooky season-ified almost. I went back to my roots of being a page turned out kind of girly. No reason, just vibes. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hi, my baby. Mwah. Okay. Yeah. This is gonna make it difficult to get up and get the books now. Will you let me get the books before you get on my lap? I know you're already on my lap, so it's too late. I am not good at sticking to a TBR. I'm awful at it, actually. Every time I make a TBR video, I never stick to it. I never go along with what my TBR says or what I'll do. I am just kind of there because I am a mood reader and I just mood read all the time, and I am awful at setting a TBR and standing to it, or sticking to it. I always do this around the spooky season because there's so many books that I want to read, not just during Halloween, but also during like November and like winter time as well, that give me those like dark academia autumn-y feelings. But like every year it's the same books that I want to read, and eventually I'm going to get to it, and if I make videos like this, it'll make me want to read them more because it reminds. I take that info and I put it into my brain, and I hopefully remember to read it this season. It's very much crooked. Look at this baby! Look at her! Okay, back up. Let's start with something I can read. Start with the thing I'm currently reading. How about that? Who am I? The first thing I am currently reading, I've been reading this for years. I reread it every year, but the specific copy I will talk about, and that is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I will never shut up about being a Carrie Maniscalco girly, a Stalking Jack the Ripper girly, if you may, or if you will, I guess. They just announced new covers for this series too, and so I have to go out and buy those now, even though I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of those covers. Okay. Pause. This is my favorite series of all time. It's Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. It's a 4-book series. I own multiple editions of this because I like to collect them, and I'm obsessed, and I have a problem. Every year I slowly work through my paperback copy to annotate it. I really want to go through and annotate the 4 paperbacks I have for this series because I just love it so much, and I love annotating. It just always takes me so long to do, so every year I try to chip away a little bit more. I am 68 pages in. I just read a chapter 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago, and because I felt like annotating, so I read through a chapter and annotated it. But this is just a very slow progress kind of thing because I just want to take my time annotating this book because I just love this book so much. And if you're wondering what my annotations are like, let me find you an example. I basically just highlight the entire page every time Thomas Creswell is on it. Like, okay, pink means love. This whole page, can you tell? This whole page is just pink. Yeah, that's what my annotatings are like. It's purely just me having fun with it. And that's what annotating should be. It shouldn't feel like homework, okay? And I'm just having fun reading through. I'm highlighting certain stuff that connects to other plot points in the series and other things I've just noticed that maybe I didn't notice the first time, writing little notes, writing little hearts every time I see Thomas Creswell appear on a page, you know, things like that. I annotate more in the fall. This follows Audrey Rose, who is a forensic science student in 1880s, late 1880s, right? Am I a fake fan? I think I'm a fake fan. 1888. Audrey Rose's uncle is a forensic scientist, or like a mortician kind of, and so she is studying under him to learn the science and the aspects, or like learn forensics, I guess. But she is a lady in the 1880s, and like all her dad wants her to do is like find a husband and get married, but she's like, I'm gonna go study dead bodies, you know? We love a queen. We love a science STEM girly. Another student under her uncle is Mr. Thomas Dorian Creswell. There's other names in there too. I can't remember his full name. I think it's Dorian. Am I wrong? Was I moving too much? Here, can I help you? You're an old lady. Let me help you across the street. Thank you. I think you put a hole in my skirt, but that's okay. I got distracted by Rosie. And this book basically takes the actual murders, like real world murders of Jack the Ripper, and makes them fictional. Like, Audrey Rose and Thomas are fictional characters following a true life, a real world crime, I guess. They're like solving it, and it's a mystery. Like, the crime is never solved who Jack the Ripper is in our history, but like they are solving who it is, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's a murder mystery. There's romance. There is 1800 Victorian vibes. There is like kind of dark academic vibes a bit. Go read it. Go read it, please. Book number 2. Another book I talked about recently. This is Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I got sent this by Del Rey. It's already published though, so you can go out and get it. It was recently published, but this is a reimagining of Lady Macbeth. Daughter, bride, villainous queen, witch. The lady knows the stories, how her eyes induce men into madness. Wait, whoa. I know, I read that way wrong. The lady knows the stories, how her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knows she will be wed to the Scottish brute who does not leave his warrior ways behind when he comes to the marriage bed. The lady knows his hostile, suspicious court will be a game of strategy requiring all her wills, I'm getting distracted, and hidden witchcraft to survive. I read a book by Ava Reid before. I really, really liked it. Study and Drowning by her, and it was very dark academic, very fall vibes. It's definitely one I would recommend for the fall time as well. And so I know I want to read this one as well. I actually have 2 copies of it, so I'm going to be annotating one of them, I believe. Lucy Undying, a Dracula novel by Kiersten White. This is also a book I was recently sent by Del Rey. This is published the 10th of September. This is the story of Dracula's first wife, Lucy Westenra, I believe. Basically, it's going through the life of Dracula's first wife. I believe it is queer, and she finds a girl later on, but I could be wrong. Oh, Iris. Yes. So either there's like a really strong female friendship in this, or a female sapphic relationship. And I really do want to read it. I'm hoping to actually get the audiobook. I've read books by Kiersten White before, and I liked them. I'm excited to read kind of like a vampire Dracula reimagining by her as well. So this is on my TBR for this August as well. Oh, you were very wet. What did you get into? My legs are soaked. I think you were in the sink. But we're gonna stay hopeful. Next, I want to read The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin. I've read Serpent and Dove. I really liked the first book. This takes place in the same universe, or like same series as Serpent and Dove, following a character that you do see in that series. I want to say her name's Celine, but I can't. It is Serpent and Dove. It was a very witchy, fun book to read in the autumn. I loved the first book. I might reread it soon too. I just need to read this book, okay? I think it has to do with vampires. I believe there's vampires in it. I don't know where I got that, or why I think that. Or she's a vampire? I don't remember. But I've been wanting to read this for a while. I've always been waiting until Halloween time to read it because I have the feelings that there's vampires in this, or there's some sort of supernatural creature. It is in the same world as Serpent and Dove, so there's definitely witches. I can't tell you much because I'm pretty sure this follows her after the events of Serpent and Dove. Though I don't really remember, so I can't really spoil anything because I don't remember anyways. But I will be reading this hopefully soon. I hope I don't have to remember much of what happened in Serpent and Dove. So I hope that I can follow along without having to refresh on those books, but I will let you know if you do need to read that series before this one when I do a wrap-up. I then have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I recently met Olivia Blake at Y'all West, and she is adorable. I haven't read any of her books though, and she was such a sweetheart too. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I've been told it's really good. I've been told it's academic, and I love that dark academia vibe, but a little bit mysterious, a little bit witchy, a little bit murdery, maybe a little sexy, who knows? I'm not saying that's what this book is because I have no idea what this book is other than academic. Let's find out together. See, here's the thing. I hate doing TBRs because I hate explaining what books are about, which I know that's my whole point. When I read it, it's easier for me to say, but when I go into a book, I just don't want to know much about it, you know? The Alexandrian Society, caretakers of lost knowledge from the greatest civilizations of antiquity, oh my god, are the foremost secret society of magical academicians in the world. Only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to be considered for initiation. So this is following the 6 candidates as they go through to try to be part of this secret society. Nice. I've never actually read a thriller book before. I don't really own any thrillers either, and I've been wanting to try one just to see if I'll like it. And Del Rey was kind enough to send me an advanced reader's copy of Tiny Threads by Lilian Rivera. This comes out September 24th of this year. This is, I believe, a thriller. I'm getting thriller from it at least. It says on the back, a legendary fashion house, a house of style, a house of icons. Working there is Samara's dream, but leaving the House of Moda will be a nightmare because it's also a house of secrets. Secrets that must die on Samara's lips. In the world of fashion, nothing is less beautiful than the truth. It's a horror. Okay, it literally says it's a horror. Tiny Threads is a horror but make it fashion. A dark supernatural thriller set in the world of fashion, which walks that glittering runway poised between darkness and beauty. So it is a horror, but it's mixed with fashion, which I think will make me really like it because I love fashion, I love makeup, I love beauty. It's like fashion mixed with horror, and I haven't read a thriller or a horror novel before. The closest I've gotten is like mysteries or like some dark fantasies, I guess, but I don't think they're anywhere near this level. So I just don't know if I'm interested in them. I've never tried one before, so I really do want to try one, whether it's this one or another horror or thriller out there. Please recommend me some that you think are like good beginner horror/slash thriller books, because I really want to try to get into it, but I don't know. Next I have By Any Other Name by Erin Cotter. This has been on my bookshelf for a while, and while rearranging like literally an hour ago, I found this one again, and now I'm interested in it again. Okay, first off, he looks like Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3, okay? That's why I bought this book. I liked the cover a lot. It was purely a cover buy. He was giving me a vampire a little bit, but I don't think it's actually about vampires. I'm pretty sure it's a Shakespearean novel. It's a high-stakes, high-draw mystery set in Shakespearean London. So mystery equals autumn to me for some reason. I'm pretty sure he does drag, or like what I would call drag, but like dressing up as females in plays because girls weren't allowed in plays in Shakespearean time, you know? But I'm pretty sure he's one of the actors. London, 1593, 16-year-old Will is busy working on the Shakespearean stage, stuffing his corsets with straw and pretending to be someone else. Off stage, he's playing a part too, the son of traitors. Will is desperate to keep his identity secret or else risk being killed in the bloody queen's imperial schemes. All he wants to do is lie low until he earns enough coin to return to his family. When his mentor, the famous playwright Christopher Marlowe, is murdered under mysterious circumstances, Will's plans are hopelessly dashed. What's worse, Marlowe was a spy for the queen, tasked with stalking a killer rumored to be part of the elusive order of assassins. So it's like murder, mystery, Shakespearean, London. I think it's also queer. Last year I read on my list Legends and Lattes by Travis Baudry. Adored this book so much. It's like perfect autumn time. Did you see that? There's a bug. I'm sorry, Legends and Lattes. Thank you for protecting me. Did I get it? Anyways, I read Legends and Lattes last October. I loved it. It's a cozy fantasy with this orc who opens up a coffee shop in this town where nobody knows what coffee is, and she has to try to go around and convince people to drink her coffee, and she makes baked goods eventually, and there's another girl, the succubus, and we love her with all our heart, and it's just like a cute little cozy story, and I loved it. And so I really want to this autumn read the sequel or the prequel to that, Bookshops and Bone Dust. I believe this is the story of her before she opens up her coffee shop, when she was fighting in wars and like being like a battle orc. And I just loved this book so much. I'm excited to see if I like the second book or the prequel, I guess, as much as this second book. But we'll see. This is one that I believe I'm gonna read this autumn because I really loved this one. It's back. I'm going crazy. A book I bought recently because it gave me similar, like the cover and the title gave me similar feelings as Legends and Lattes, was Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. This is book 1 in the Tomes and Tea series. It's described as a cozy fantasy steeped with love. I believe this is about two girls who run away together and open up a bookstore that also sells tea, like a tea shop that sells books, I guess. It is also fantasy, so one of the girls, Kyanthi, is the most powerful maid in existence. A cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, murderous queen, And yeah, it sounds cozy. I don't really know if it's gonna be cozy, but like, look at this cover. Does this not like look like the most perfect autumn book to read? I then have The Library of Shadows by Rochelle Moore. Ghost? I'm pretty sure. Ghost. Poignant, romantic, and at all times laugh out loud funny, is a haunting paranormal mystery. The third most haunted school in the country, where students' disappearance aren't uncommon and no one dares stay in the library after dark, is where Estelle enrolls with the hopes of finding her dead father. Not literally, of course. She doesn't believe in ghosts. Going to her dad's school just seems like her best hope to figure out who he was. But then Estelle meets Mateo, who is probably definitely a real ghost. I purely bought this because of the cover. Like, and the title, Library of Shadows, ghost, library, mystery, fantasy, like dark academia, has to do with a university. I want to read. I also have Lake's Edge by Lyndall Clipstone. This was sent to me a while ago by a Bookstagram friend, and I've been wanting to read it ever since it came out. It gives me major Phantom of the Opera vibes, and I am obsessed with Phantom of the Opera. It's like one of my favorite Broadway like plays, and so that's all I know about this, and that's all this cover gives me, and I want to read it. Violetta Graceling would do anything to protect her younger brother. She arrives at a mansion and discovers they're not alone. The state is also visited by the Lord Under, a sinister deity who lurks in the ink-black waters of the lake. I don't know why I was getting Phantom of the Opera vibes. Gothic romance is what people are saying. Reminiscent of the romantically gothic atmosphere of the Phantom of the Opera is what the back says. So I wasn't, wrong in saying that this gives me Phantom of the Opera vibes. I really need to catch up on Leigh Bardugo's writing. So I have The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo and Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I have yet to read both of these. And I say I'm a Leigh Bardugo fan. I'm like, yeah. I reread Six of Crows, it feels like, every year in the fall, and so I'm trying not to do that this year, and I'm trying to read one of her other books instead. I know this one has to do with a Spanish manor, I believe, and Sears, so there's magic in this one. And then I believe Ninth House is very dark academia. Is there also ghost in this? Dark magic and murder set among the Ivy League elite. Here's the thing about redoing my bookshelf like an hour ago. I'm trying to find all these books and I have no idea where some of them are. So it's been a journey trying to find them. I have a couple books that are releasing this fall that I need to read. And the first one is obvious. It's the new Carrie Maniscalco release. And that is Throne of Secrets, out October 29th by Carrie Maniscalco. So basically there's this whole world that she's writing. Starts with Kingdom of the Wicked. There's 3 books in this series, following Amelia and Wrath, who is a demon from hell. And then she continued on with the series with Throne of the Fallen, which follows Envy and a girl I don't remember the name of. Camila? This book was okay. I think this is the first Carrie Maniscalco book that I've ever rated 4 stars. I just wasn't obsessed with it as much as the other books, aka Stalking Jack the Ripper and Kingdom of the Wicked, because I really love Kingdom of the Wicked too. And I'm not just saying that because she's my favorite author, okay? I adore Kingdom of the Wicked. I just had an okay time with Throne of the Fallen. So next we have Throne of Secrets. Is that what it is? And it's following Gluttony, I'm pretty sure. So it follows the Prince of Gluttony, which I'm excited about because I really like Gluttony when he's shown in these 2 series. I really like him. The thing is I'm not the biggest fan of Envy's characters, so I think that's why I didn't really appreciate this book that much, because Carrie Maniscalco and her male characters tug on my heartstrings. I love Wrath. I love Thomas. I just didn't love Envy. I had a really hard time with him, but I like Gluttony already from these 2 books and like what we've seen of him in these 2 books. If you can't tell, this world follows 7 sins. Like each sin is impersonated by like is a person, and like they're the king or the prince of that sin. So you have Prince Wrath, Prince Envy, Prince Gluttony, Prince Pride, stuff like that. Dark fantasies. Next is what? God, this title is weird for me. Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez, which is the sequel to What the River Knows. And this is coming out in November, I believe. November 12th. So it's still autumn because it's November, but past spooky season. I read What the River Knows earlier this year, and it's been my favorite read of this year so far. I am super, super excited for the sequel to come out. I can't wait to read it. I have a new book boyfriend. Mr. Whitford Hayes, or Wit, adore him. I love him so much. And this book ends on quite the cliffhanger involving him, and I just need the second one now. This follows Inez on her journey to Egypt, where her parents mysteriously disappeared and are presumed dead. So she goes to Egypt to try to figure out what really happened to her parents. There she's with her uncle and Whitford Hayes as they like explore ancient Egypt places, basically. There's like magic, and it gives Mummy vibes, which I love the Mummy movie. I just can't wait for the sequel of this book. It's literally nothing has topped this as my #1 read of this year so far. There's that. It was between this and A Study in Drowning, really. But then I think this overall is my #1 so far. But we'll see. It could change with the Carrie Maniscalco book coming out or the second book of this. So we'll see where it goes, you know? There's a book out September 3rd. So by the time you see this, it's already going to be out. Fantasma. And I purely want to read it based off this artwork that she posted on her Instagram, and this was promoted to be on Instagram, and now I'm following this author, and now I want to read this book purely based off of this artwork, okay? Like, I don't know anything about it. It's a forbidden romance with forced proximity, fantasy version of New Orleans, a phantom necromancer romance, haunted house competition, spicy and bloody. I want to taste your sins. I want to read. The artwork did its job. A Tempest of Tea by Fazil. I can never say her name right, and I always apologize. Like, I've heard people say it correctly so many times, and I've tried it. I'm the worst, okay? I'm just the worst. I read about 30 pages of this book, and I really, really liked it. But this is my book club pick. So we're currently on my read for book club. My family does a monthly book club, and we cycle through who picks a book each time, and my pick was A Tempest of Tea, and so now we are currently on Tempest of Tea, and we're reading it, but I'm including it in the TBR because I haven't read it yet, and I know I'm going to read it. It's spooky season, and my heart is so happy. I can't wait to read some of these. I can't wait to be in the dark academic mystery fall romance high fantasy vibes / horror, I guess, because I wanted to get into that too. But I can't wait to read some of these. Let me know what is on your list for like books you want to read this autumn. Are there any out there, new releases that you think I would like that include vampires or romance or witches or anything? I don't have that many witch books on this TBR. I always have witches, I feel like. I love witches. Witches like is one of my favorite things. And I don't have like any witch books. So if there's anything like that that you think other people would enjoy too, let us know down below. Thanks for watching. I adore you. Tell me what you're reading this fall. I want to know if there's any new releases you have your eyes on. Thanks for watching. I hope my lipstick wasn't a mess this whole time. We're good. Thanks for watching. Bye.